Good morning, good afternoon, as per your time zone. I am Divyesh, and here we are officially starting this webinar on robust quality management system to ensure data integrity. I have Nipa, our subject matter expert, to drive this session, who is expert in QA QC operations and having a vast experience in that domain. So, yes, Nipa, welcome to this webinar. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Divesh. So, welcome everyone, and thank you for joining today's webinar. And as Divesh mentioned, the topic is a robust quality management system to ensure data integrity. So our today's webinar will cover these listed topics of data integrity, that what it is, why it's important to have data integrity, what is the current regulatory requirements, different causes and consequences of data integrity issues. So how to ensure this data integrity with different ways and solution for current modern businesses. So the first thing comes to the front and our mind is what is data integrity. So it's all about the trustworthiness of data throughout its lifespan. Now, if I say that lifespan, it means that it covers all the phases of all the data from generation, recording to the processing, which includes the analysis, transformation, migrations, reviewing, data retention, archival and retrieval, and lastly, destruction. So it's obviously critical in pharmaceuticals, life science industries, healthcare domains to make sure that the end products meets all the required quality standards. So it's essential to maintain and assure the accuracy and consistency of the data over its entire life. So data can be in any form, like it can be electronic or it can be paper-based, maybe original or derived from raw data, right? So it's simple enough that managing all data generated in analysis from life to death of data, right? So to assure the data integrity, we must know the importance, like what's the importance of data integrity, why it's that much important. So as we all know that regulatory requirements become more and more stringent nowadays, and hence data integrity is very much important for those who are heavily facing regulatory audits. And we are very much responsible to make sure that the data is protected, accurate, that not deleted, and lot of things can go wrong, could possibly leads to risk of data integrity within the businesses, right? So hence maintaining data integrity is as important for several reasons. For one, data integrity ensures recoverability, searchability, traceability, connectivity. So protecting the validity and accuracy of data also increase the stability and performance. As we all know that data are the only record of any kind of activity. So it's important to have accurate data in proper location at the right time when anyone is working on projection or any kind of deal or any presentation, any kind of task. So without proper and easy access and retrieval, it can be detrimental to the businesses, and questioning it will directly leads to the loss of trust. So having a reliable, consistent business matrix against company goals and the competition is what will take the organizations to the top. So compliance is a very good thing because it speaks to the making sure that we are adhering to not only patient safety issues but product quality issues as well. Right. So regulatory bodies like US FDA, MHRA, or WHO has offered many guidance documents to adhere to data integrity. So different guidelines has provided by different regulatory bodies like MHRA. The guidance provided by MHRA says that the organizations need to take the responsibility for the system used and the data they generate, right? So the organizational culture should ensure that the data is a complete, consistent, and accurate in all the forms like it. either it's a paper based or it's a electronic data. So where data integrity weaknesses are identified, then company should ensure that the appropriate CAPA has been implemented across all relevant activities. So the data should not be altered during or after it's transferred to the worksheets or other applications, because there should be an audit trail for all the processes. So for that, we need to have appropriate quality procedures should be followed if the data transfer during the operation has not occurred correctly. So any changes in the middle layer software should be managed through appropriate quality management system, because an audit trail provides for secure recording of the life cycle details such as creations, addition, deletion, any modification, any kind of alteration. So an audit trail facilitates the reconstruction of the history of every event relating to the record, that covers that who, what, when, and why of every actions. So US FDA has also provided guidance regarding the data integrity. As we all know about the chapter 21 CFR part 11 guideline, and it says that the backup data exit, it must be complete. They should be secure for alteration, inadvertent erasers, or any kind of loss. So for that, data should be stored to prevent deterioration or any kind of erasers, and activity to be documented at the time of performance, as backdated tasks are not allowed in as per regulatory requirement. So all data must be recorded online. Records be retained as the original record, true copies, or other accurate reproductions of the original record. For that, we need to have complete information, complete data derived from all the tests, complete records of all the data, complete records of all the tests that has been performed. And by following all these requirement, your data will suffice all these required listed details. And yes, for that you will be always ready for audit by following all these requirements. So probably the biggest and the most beneficial thing that's come down through all the use of 5-letter acronym that we all know that the US FDA has provided. It says the ALCOA, right? So in fact, ALCOA has been came around 90s, but it has been adapted more recently by regulatory bodies as an even more basic, comprehensive, and user-friendly methodology for making sure that we are paying attention to the data integrity issues. So let's get brief into each acronym. The first one is A stands for attributable. It is saying that who perform an action and when. So for that, I can say that all data which are generated or collected must be identified to the person generating the data. This should include that who has performed, when it has been performed, and this can be recorded by initiating and dating a paper record or by audit trail in the electronic system itself. Now comes to the L, that stands for legible, and legible says that the data shall be recorded permanently, right? So it means that the data can be easily read. It should be permanent, like ensuring records are readable and permanent with its accessibility throughout the data life cycle. So as we all know that the GDP will always promote the use of indelible link while creating or completing any kind of record. So when making corrections to a record, we must ensure that a single line is used to strike out this old record, because the old record should also be visible. So we can say that there's nothing like a manipulation. Now comes to the C, contemporaneous. It says that the data shall be recorded at a time of work. As I said, like it's online entry. It means that the record the result measurement of data at the time of work. So date and timestamp should be there in a flow in order to execution for the data to be credible, right? So it should be in a order. Now O, it's the original, and it stands for is the information of the original record or a certified true copy. It means that the data sometimes referred to as a source data or primary data. So it's the medium in which the data point is recorded for the first time. This could be a database, an approved protocol, or a form, or a dedicated notebook. It could be any kind of form. So it's important to understand where your original data will be generated. Its content and meaning are also preserved. Now comes to an last acronym. It says accurate. So it stands for there are no errors, or if editing shall be amended, it should be proper, right? So for that, I can say that the data and records to be accurate, they should be free from errors, complete, truthful, and reflective of observation. So editing should not be performed without documenting and annotating any amendment. So the firstly, US FDA has given the approach of ALCOA. So ALCOA was a tool to implement data integrity in pharmaceuticals and manufacturing facility. But later on, they felt that they needed to put a plus on the end of the ALCOA. And ALCOA Plus made this tool more powerful and sharp. It has been implemented, is in use by various big bodies like FDA, WHO, MHRA. Complete, it stands for all data are available and nothing has been deleted. For that, I can say that when data is complete in nature, it means there is no deletion has been taken place from the date of documentation. It includes any change that have been made during the lifespan of the data. Right. So consistency says that the data should be recorded chronologically with date and time. It means the first activity which has been done, the date and time stamp for that particular activity will be made, and then later on it will be arranged in a chronological order. The same way, enduring is saying that the data are accessible for an extended period. For that, I can say the material that used to record the data should be in a manner which will last a long duration of time without losing its readability. And the lastly, available. It means the data are accessible over the lifetime period of the time. So it should be accessible whenever we needed that over the lifespan of the data. So availability ensures that the data meets usage whenever it's required. So there are certain reasons, there are obvious certain causes that leads to data integrity issues usually. So in a pharmaceutical industries, there are multiple data transfer points like data from worksheets or notebooks to LIMS, worksheets or notebooks to reports. So error can occur any time during data transfer as they frequently observed during audits. So for that, obviously the first one comes to our mind is a human error, because it's very easy to make mistakes while entering data. There is also issues of ignorance in some cases, because sometimes also people are not properly trained and not following regular issues. So there is always a risk of a fraud sort of data manipulations. A lot of there are also unintentional, but there are a lot of ways that it can manifest itself when you are more in a manual system. So it's really very easy when recording data to get things in the wrong place at the wrong times and misrepresent actually what happened. But there is a lot of automation in this industry, and it's very common that data integrity can be compromised when system shares the data, and sometimes the breakdown in the middle of the system happens. Sometimes actual data are not shown or critical information are withdrawn. For example, negative data or out of specification result have been discarded, right? So using of non-validated software or lacking of document control procedures. So there is always leads to mismatch of source data on original data. Sometimes even audit trails are not reviewed properly, and disabling or inappropriate audit trails are there. So all these are the resources, or we can say the causes which leads to the data integrity issues. And for that, here are the consequences that what happened by having these such causes of data integrity. So these are the consequences of causes of data integrity issues that we saw in an earlier slide. For that, the management must play a pivotal role by taking steps to offset each of the factors which are responsible for data integrity deficiencies. because nowadays many companies continue to struggle with the basic data integrity problems. So this is evident from number of warning letters and Form 483 has been issued to various companies across a globe. So non-compliance can lead to a product seizures, product non-approval or delays of the approval. It imparts the restrictions, substantial fines, debarment of organizations, and criminal liability for individual or for a company. So all these errors can erode the trust with the customers, even with the regulatory bodies also. Even an innocent mistake can be perceived as an intentional fraud. So with the rapid growth of the market for generic pharmaceuticals, economic and regulatory pressures on the pharmaceutical manufacturer is increasing day by day. So in this environment, time to market has become even more critical. So in around 2013 time frame, FDA started giving training to auditors to look for data integrity issues. And the big reason for this is the overtime of the industry has gradually moved from paper data to digitized or electronic records, because there's a pretty key, because paper is less regulated by the FDA, and poor data integrity is always a company killer, right? So there are many potential failures of data integrity that can be damaging to a business also, like accidental error or system crashes, and all it leads to loss of revenue, loss of trust, wasted media, lots of dollars, inaccurate decision making, and lacking of quality data causes inability to accuracy, access performance. So for that, it's a necessary requirement to have data integrity implementations, right? So what the best we can do is we can set our policies, we can set different guidelines, different SOPs, and we can set different controls, and we can have data integrity implementation by this way. So for that, we can also impart trainings and create awareness amongst the user, like a personal in every process on the manufacturing floor must be trained in proper data management. The training must go beyond good documentation practice also. He or she must know that how he is performing, is he following the data integrity compliance or not, all the guidelines, SOB that has been defined by the organizations. It should also cover why the process are conducted the way they are. Even he or she must know that how the smallest of the mistake evolve into a serious problem. We can also set the controls of human errors and procedures and technology by having the SOPs that are well defined, make it clear and simple. The staff are trained adequately on that procedures. We can keep audit trials in order to clearly show that how access a given system is. Even we can regularly review our audit trials so that if any kind of gap or anything is identified, it can be nullified for that. We can also set procedural control, because it should consist of a suite of documents that includes the written directives, training programs, records, review management, audit, self-inspection. So these kind of governing procedures can be set out. We can also set technical controls by having protect our information systems, such as passwords, access controls, our operating system or our application software program, network protocol, right? We can also make our documents in a controlled manner, like data must not be recorded in unofficial forms, on writing pads or uncontrolled media. So this policy should be stated in the SOPs for good documentation practice. For that, we can have lab notebooks, worksheets should be issued by the quality units. We should ensure that the archiving process maintain and protect our whole data. We should perform the data entry with accuracy, truthfully, and completeness. So for that, we have different ways which ensures the data integrity. For that, the first one is the select appropriate system and service providers. So for that, we need to ensure that which are the providers are there, they are knowing with our regulatory requirement. They should flow with the regulatory requirements. and systems must be fit for the purpose. So get proof of a software efficacy for the application which will be used. We can perform risk-based validation also. So validate those systems, those are part of our GXP compliance, like ensure the protocols which address the data quality and reliability. You can also ensure your quality management system, which defines the frequencies, roles, responsibility in the system itself. Even our validation master plan must also outline the approaches you will use to review the meaningful of metadata, including audit trails, everything. We can also schedule the periodic re-evaluation after your initial validations. Validated system require an IT environment that has been fully qualified too. We can also plan for our business continuity by ensuring that the disaster recovery plan is in place. Our plan should state that how quickly the functions can be restored, as well as the probable impact of any kind of data loss. As I say, we can set the your audit trails, because an audit trail must be an inerasable record of all data in the system, like it including any changes that have been made to a database or any kind of file to be useful in a regulatory compliance. An audit trail must answer. So every audit trail must answer that who, what, when, and why. So it suffices our requirements. We can define the data that relevant to regulatory and ensures that all are in audit trail. For that, we can also assign different roles and schedules for testing the audit trail functionality. So understand what your audit trail comprise, and it will be very helpful. We can also archive our data, like backup and save electronic data by pre-set schedule and to a secure location, including all metadata. So we can verify the retrieval of all data during internal audits also. And for all these, all we need to be accurate. So verify your system inputs, like environmental monitoring system require regulatory calibrated sensors also. For network systems, test the data that are coming from the right locations, right? So nowadays, ensuring the integrity and the securing of data is very complex and time-consuming task for most of the organization. But it does not have to be. It should be simpler, right? So data security platform can help you out to take the necessary steps to maintain your quality management system, to improve your integrity of your data. So the continuous and proactive monitoring can help you to ensure that the data remains both secure and it retains its integrity. So with all these key features, if you are having, then it helps your organizations to maintain the data integrity. Surgeon system journey has been of business technology and innovation since 1998 with a core competition of greenfield solutions. It also having customers in more than 50 countries with 400 plus project installation, and it's used by 60,000 users globally. The business model of Surgeon system revolves around 95% of customer retention, with a strategy of architecting, design, development of proprietary technology stack, the technology strategy of having cloud-ready solutions, and the quality strategy of ISO 9001-2015 guidelines. So here we come to an end of this webinar. So let's have a Q&A session.
So for Q&A, basically you can drop in your questions in our inbox, and we'll go one by one. So kindly be, let's not regret it today that you didn't ask a question today. So let's be more, energetic and be more enthusiastic about this particular session and start with this Q&A part. So if you have any query related to any of the portion that was being stated in this whole session, you can surely shoot us out in the inbox, and we'll go one by one for your queries then. So, okay, I find like one question's been popped up at our end. So, yeah, Nipa, we have a question from a user that can electronic copies be used as an accurate reproduction paper or an electronic records?
Yes, it's a very good question. So yes, for that, I would like to say that the guidance says that the electronic copies can be issued as a true copies of paper or electronic records. It also stipulates that the copies that needs to be preserved, the content and meaning of the original data also.
Okay. So, I hope that answers your query. So we are still awaiting few more questions from our user who are being very interactive or being very engaging during this whole session. So we hopefully find a few more questions now. So yeah, so Nipaya, one question is that like, does each workflow needs to be validated in the computer system?
Yeah, for that, the short answer is yes, because any workflow or every workflow on our computer system needs to be validated, because the FDA guidance states that the workflow, such as batch records or any control records that are intended use of computer system, that needs to be validated, right? So I can say that if you validate your computer system, but do not validate for intended use, you cannot know that the workflow is running correctly or not. So yes, the answer is yes.
Okay. So one quick question from a user, like, can you be interfaced with any ERP?
Yeah, if you are talking about any kind of software that is handled electronically or digitization, so it should be like it can be interfaced with any ERP system, like fetch the details, like product details or any kind of detail that you want in your system.
Okay. So, like one more question we have is, why is FDA concerned with the use of shared login accounts?
Yeah, it's a very good question, and we must know about these things, because when login credentials have been shared, that the unique individuals cannot be identified through the login. If it's my login and someone else is using, then we cannot identify that who has done such things, right? So for a unique individual cannot be identified through the login and the system, so it does not confirm the CGMP requirement, and hence FDA is much more concerned about the shared login issues.
I hope that answers the query. So, yes, guys, we are awaiting your questions. You surely can drop us more and more questions to, so that we can make this session a successful one. So, do drop us any questions you require to ask, or anything you would like to know about related to this particular session. Okay, so Nipa, let's like, out of my curiosity, can I ask you one question?
Yeah.
So, like it was totally about data integrity. So, could you just brief about the data security platform or the electronic systems that we have been talking about?
You got the nerve. Right, yeah, there are many software or solutions are available which helps you to make you ready for audit, and make you hassle-free audit, and take care all the stress. So yeah, there are available in market.
So, I hope like people who are having any second thoughts or anything, so it might have addressed their questions or query about here. So guys, yes, we are expecting few more questions. So we have one question that's been popped up. So the question is, Nita, like, is it okay to correct an error in record with initial and dates?
If a number or any other piece of information is altered from the original thing, like original paper, the reason must be there, right? The reason should be there always. So if I need to release a batch or someone altered a yield calculation of a time or date, how I know that who has done it and why it has been done. So the date and time, the user signatures, and the reason must be there.
Okay. So one more, question we have, like what exactly is a metadata?
For that, I can say that the metadata is the contextual information that is required. It supports the data. For example, if I say that the value number is a 3, but what is 3? 3 mg or 3 kg or 3 rupees or $3. So for that, we always need to that kind of data that supports our main value. So metadata is the contextual information of the data.
Okay. That was insightful. Okay. So yeah, Sunita, one question over here is about the printouts that we have from HPLC, because okay, so they want to know if there is a printer failure. So what in that case?
Because it happens that many times the printouts have been failed, like because of the ink issue or anything. So now I would advise having an SOP that describes that what, how, and who may shred any unwanted printouts, and that control it's totally with the quality unit only. Because that the analyst who prints such a document writes on it that why they believe it can be shredded. For example, the printer got stuck, then it should get sent to quality unit for the review purpose because before getting it shredded. So this kind of control procedure should be there.
So yeah, that was a good Q&A session, I would say. Yeah, so we have one more question. How is it possible to be sure? Just a minute, I just read up. Yeah. How is it possible to be sure that service provider compliant with data integrity rules?
Could you please repeat?
Yeah. How is this possible? How is it possible basically to be sure that service provider are compliant with data integrity rules?
A very good question, Valeria. For that, we can set our procedures, like we can define the checklist of our regulatory compliance. That these all are the things that those we require. So we can set this kind of checklist, and while selecting our service provider, we can check mark on that checklist that our these listed requirements are fulfilled or not. So by this way, we can make sure that our service providers are compliant or not with our data integrity, because we all know the checklist of 21 CFR Part 11 and EU GMP Annex 11 compliance checklist. So we can make sure that the service providers are following it or not. So by this way, we can definitely check it out.
So we hope that answers your query. So yes, if you have any more questions, thank you. So I hope, like, if you have any questions or anything you want to know in related to this particular session, you can surely drop us in the chats, and we would like to address your questions as fast as possible. And so, or else we can move ahead by concluding this whole session. So yes, we consider that this whole session was being insightful to all the users who have attended it, and I would like to thank NEPA to be a great speaker throughout the session. So, and thank you to all the listeners as well who are being attentive and and for making this Q&A session also more engaging.
Thank you everyone
So,
for joining us today on this webinar.
okay. So yes, all we are good to conclude this session, and hopefully it was a good session to you all as well. Thank you.